Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a beautiful 12 by 12 scrapbook layout that I created using the amazing Mintay Peony Garden collection by Mintay. I also used the 60 paper die cuts, and I also did a little bit of fussy cutting from the 6 by 8 Peony Garden paper pad, and I used the titles chippies. And all this combined allowed me to create such a beautiful layout. I'm going to take you step by step through how I created the layout, so let's get started. Background for my layout is the number 4 paper from the Mintay Peony Garden 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper set. I'm just trimming the barcode off, and I'm using a sweet little photo of a little girl and her cat, and that's going to go in the center of my layout. I'm going to mount my photograph onto some recycled cardboard just to elevate it a little bit from the page. Here are my peony die cuts and some of my fussy cutting. I've got probably about 1.5 packets of paper die cuts here to play with. I'm starting with a large floral cluster at the top and a small floral cluster at the bottom. And I'm going to be using some recycled cardboard on the back of my paper die cuts to create some height and dimension in my layout. If you prefer a very flat layout, just glue your paper die cuts directly onto your background paper. I'm also going to be adding some cheesecloth in and around my paper layers so that I create a little bit of contrast to the paper. It just softens the paper a little bit. Just going to start gluing down those pieces now that I'm happy with that. I'm starting at the top and at the bottom. I'm going to glue my photo into the middle of my page because I'm happy with where that photo is going to stay. I wanted my photo to be in the center, and I wanted to work on building a large cluster of paper die cuts around my photo. Putting those cute little white picket fences along the bottom of my photo. Peonies are actually my favorite flower, and I absolutely adore this collection. I love the colors in this collection, and I love the shabby chic feel. Everything about this I just adore, and I've already made quite a few cards with this collection, and I had these paper die cuts sitting on my desk and this pretty pink page, and they really just wanted to go together. So I thoroughly enjoyed creating this layout, and what I'm doing here is I'm just building up the layers as I go, sliding things in front of other things or behind little bits. And this for me is a very enjoyable process. You can see the start of my layout taking shape now, and I've decided to create my layers into a diamond sort of pattern. I wasn't really knowing which way this pattern would turn out, but it kind of morphed into a very neat diamond shaped pattern. I'm using the chippy titles to title my layout, and I'm painting the chippy with Mintay white chalk paint before I attach it onto my layout to give it a nice white background. So just let that to dry for a little bit, and while that's drying, I've cut out some cute little swirly paper die cuts out of paper, just some white cardstock and just some little white swirly die cuts that I'm going to put around the outside of my diamond. I'm just adding on my title, the lovely chippy, with some glue. And I'm going to add some kindy glitz over the top to make it a little bit sparkly. I'm also going to add some kindy glitz to the butterflies that I've positioned in amongst my layout. It's looking really pretty, but still a little bit to go. I'd like to add a flower and a little bit of a lace bow. So I'm just gluing down a little bit of lace and some twine, and then a pretty pink flower there on the side of the layout. And I'm just adding a few little flat back pearls around the outside of my layout, of my embellishment cluster. And a little bit of kindy glitz on the edge of the petals of the flower. And that concludes my layout. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial using Mintay Peony Gardens. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely crafty day.